Hi, my name's Brianna Oswald. I'm 23 years old and I'm a special education teacher. And I teach learning support to third grade students. And then on the weekends, I sell LuLaRoe in my free time, and I work at a winery just as a wine taster and things like that. And I'm here with my boyfriend, and this is.
Hi, I'm David Pizarro. I'm 24 and I work with accounting and finance, and we work for 5 car dealerships.
So we were interested in house hunters because we have always had a strong interest in HGTV. We're constantly watching, House Hunters, Property Brothers, Fixer Upper, and being that we weren't going to move to Waco, Texas, and we wanted to stay in the little small area in Pennsylvania that we're in, we chose to pursue house hunters. So we started that process about 2 months ago when we also started house hunting, and we've just kind of been in contact, and things have worked out so far in our favor, and now we're doing our video to hopefully be able to get on the show and to sell you guys to ourselves as well. So like I said, the house hunting experience for us started about 2 months ago. David and I have been together for a little over a year. We met on an online dating app called Tinder. I'm sure you're familiar. But he lives about an hour from me currently. So I live at home with my parents, and so does he. Because of our ages, we were only out of college and working for 2 years, so we were trying to save up some money, and thus we started the house hunting process because we wanted to both get out of our parents' houses and make our commutes to see each other a little bit easier and be able to live together. So we reached out to a local realtor who is actually a family friend of ours. We sat down with her, kind of said, we're not in a rush. We don't know that we're ready for this yet, kind of feeling it out. We weren't really sure where we wanted to go. She gave us our options. We got pre-qualified. We wanted to figure out financially where we stood. We were just, on Trulia, Zillow, all those little house hunting apps, scoping things out. Started finding some houses that kind of caught our eye and started going and looking at some houses. We saw things we liked, things we didn't like. And then our third house actually is the one we settled on. We're under contract. We have about 2 weeks left for the mortgage to finalize and everything to be finalized. And we had a really easy process with that house. We were the first bidders on the property. Therefore, they took our offer because we were the first people who offered full price and a lower seller assist. And we were local and they were local, and they kind of wanted to keep that in the town. So we got really lucky with that house. Did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I would say since we weren't in, we didn't have a timeline, we didn't have a deadline that we needed to be in a house for, so we weren't taking we weren't taking our time to try to see every house we wanted to look at. We just kind of were taking bits and pieces from every house we saw online and just kind of got an idea of what we were looking for within our expectations of what we wanted and in reality with the money we were working with. So really, the first couple houses we looked at, we weren't pre-approved, and we just wanted to go see how the process went. Even when we went to see our realtor, we're just not really...
Literally got pre-approved, mind you, the day we put the bid in on the house.
And it kind of all happened so fast. So honestly, the process wasn't overly stressful because we didn't make it stressful on ourselves. We didn't sit there and say, we proved ourselves. We have a timeline to get in a house or try to put an offer in a house. So it all happened so fast that, it really wasn't that difficult. It was pretty easy. It was fairly stress-free, and we just everything kind of fell in place, and here we are.
So, did we have things that we wanted? Yes. Did we have things that we didn't want?
Absolutely.
Yes. Did we get everything we wanted and everything we didn't want? No, not at all. Because as first-time home buyers, it's kind of hard to get everything you want at the first try, especially being, younger and still having the student loan debt from college and everything like that. So our budget was a little lower, but at the same time, we wanted a single standalone home. We did not want a half a double. We wanted some kind of backyard. Obviously, you're not going to get tons of acreage for a cheaper price. For me, it's a little harder because right now, like I said, I live at home with my parents. I have 4 little brothers and sisters who currently reside in the same house. Hence why we're doing this video now, because they'll be coming home from baseball in a short time period, and, we don't want crazies running around the house. But I need to get out. It's completely not possible to stay here any longer. It's like being a second parent, and not that that's always a bad thing, but it's very stressful when you're trying to live your own life and trying to enjoy being young for a little bit of time before you get older. With that said, the house that we live in, that I live in with my family, my parents built about 10 years ago. So for me, I had a lot of expectations, and David would say I am definitely the pickiest house shopper.
Absolutely.
If it were up to me, we'd have like this mansion and this 5-acre lot and 2-car garage and a pool and a hot tub and the works. But it's not possible. That's not going to happen. That's not what we chose. But with that being said, I picked things that I liked from my house that I live in now, and I picked things that I didn't like. And I kind of looked for those things when I was house hunting. I'm really into the farmhouse look, like old-fashioned, kind of antique-y look, but at the same time modern and contemporary, kind of all morphed together. Things in our house that I do like is the hardwood flooring. Hardwood flooring just kind of ties it all together, makes it look really new and like fun, and you don't have that traveled look to it. If you get a little nick in your hardwood floor, it's not as noticeable as if you have a stain or you have constant traffic on your carpet or anything like that. So that's the first floor that everybody sees when they walk in. And I like that hardwood floor and tile through the kitchen, downstairs area, and keep the carpeting more so for an upstairs. That being said, I would like a second floor. David would be perfectly okay with one floor, basement,
Absolutely.
just whatever. I would like a second floor. I've always grown up in 2-floor houses, even when I was a child. So for me, I like having the 2 levels, the 2 different spots for you to have like a living space, and then a different floor for you to go to bed. Selling LuLaRoe, we kind of needed that extra room. Even though we don't have kids, we needed an office space / a Lula room, and then we still needed an extra space to put a guest room, or if we have people over, a place for them to stay and to feel like they're not including in our space. So we were kind of looking for at least a 2-bedroom house, 1 bathroom, maybe a half bath downstairs, but it wasn't a necessity. But at the same time, it's nice that people aren't trucking through your upstairs when you have people over and they can just go to the bathroom downstairs. I would love to have a walk-in closet. I mean, all the clothes, I sell clothes, so I would love to have a walk-in closet. David says I can do without it, and I could do without all the clothes that I have. But, I don't know. Yeah, I'm a girl. I would have like this ginormous bathroom with 2 mirrors, 2 sinks, so that when he's in the bathroom, he's not hogging my space, and I can still do my hair, do my makeup, get ready, and I don't have to pick up his shavings from him trimming his beard or shaving his head, and I can keep getting ready without being like, oh, gross, can you clean the sink? So those are some things that I really like in a house. Some things I don't like would be like in a bathroom, that old subway tile. I don't mind tile in a bathroom on the walls, but the old bright subway tiles, like the yellows and the greens and the Pepto-Bismol pink, I guess you could call it, those are just a little old-fashioned and obnoxious for me, and I would rather have a home that's move-in ready and we don't have to do tons of work to. There's tons of other things, but I guess I'll let David talk for a little bit, and then I'll go back to myself, because otherwise I would do all the talking.
No, I'm a lot simpler. My wish list would just basically include, I like space. My first home, even though it's, first home budget's not, completely there, I still like a single family home. I'd like space. I'd like a backyard, and a backyard is something we, want a dog, looking down the road, want a kid to have, place to play, put some, toys. So that's my number 1 on my wish list.
Yard is number 1 on your wish list?
Oh, a yard is number 1 by far. You can't find that around too much anymore. So that's number 1.
Who chooses a yard over a house?
So because house got potential. That's my next.
Okay.
I look at the space. I look at the space. So if there's a good amount of room, the rooms are good size, walls are not, I can look at the potential.
He sees potential. I see like, okay, that has this wrong with it. We can't get this house because this, and this are wrong with it, and I need something that's no work. Just move in ready, paint the walls, and be ready to go.
Move-in ready is not a necessity. I have family. She has family, that electrician, carpentry, plumbing. we can get that done. So I'm not too worried about that. I
But
see
money's
potential.
always a possibility, and if we don't have money, we can't do any
Yeah.
of that. So
We can deal with that when we get there. So that's what I see. But that's my wish list. A lot simpler. I single floor plan, absolutely fine with
he
me.
likes
Open
ranches
space.
and like
Open
the
space,
bi-level
absolutely,
homes,
yes.
you know, where you kind of just walk in and you have the main floor and you have a basement that can be furnished, but that's not furnished. Because I mean, he's grown up in that. He actually, you know, grew up in Montana, so you're around a lot of farmland again. You're around a lot of open spaces.
Space.
A lot of room for activity, you know, going fishing, going hunting, things like that. So
Hunting land.
for both of us, it was kind of hard to go away from the hunting land and the fishing land. And not that we are, but we're within 15 miles of hunting and fishing land and doing outdoor things, biking trails, you know, walking, going for hikes, things like that, that we're still in a safe distance, that we're not spending hours or
It's easy access. Easy
miles
access.
in a car. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And both of us like would still be close enough to our parents' house so that, you know, if we need anything, we're there. David a little bit further than me because I don't like to drive. He'll drive all he wants.
And that was a discussion we had. And I have one brother. He's older, 29. He's established, has 2 kids, and she's got 4 brothers and sisters. Well, 6 including all the stepbrothers. And
Yeah.
so all under the age of 13,
Kind of hard
12.
to leave.
She needs to be a part of their lives. Me and my brother are best friends. We're going to see each other.
You know,
it
they're
means
all
more
in
to her.
sporting events. There's things that I'm so used to doing and going to see that I can't move away from that. And as much as I feel like they're still going to be I'm going to be with them too much because they think they're just going to like live at our house when we get one. No. I say that now, but I'll end up letting it happen eventually and David won't like it. At the same time, it's kind of hard because, you know, a year ago I got a dog and I paid for the dog, but my parents and the kids, and I lived with the dog at my parents' house, so it kind of became a family dog, and it became my parents taking care of vet bills, whereas I was taking care of food and grooming appointments and things like that. So it became a joint effort, but at the same time, I can't take the dog away from the kids. So it's hard for me to leave the dog, so that way I'm with a safe distance. And commuting to work, I mean, I'm already traveling a half hour from home. Where we'd be moving, it would still be like 20 minutes. David's traveling about 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
So, you know, it's still safe areas for us to travel. But I'm going to let him talk for a little bit. I'm going to go give a warning to the kids because they just got home to stay quiet. So I'll be right back.
So my next thing with our happy medium of trying to find a place that we both can still get to work, and she's close to family. I'm still reasonably close to my mom and my brother. So my dream home, like she said, I grew up in Montana, a lot of space. So my dream home would be ranch style. Single floor plan, open space, you know, see from the kitchen all the way to the living room, even out to the backyard. That's my dream home. All right there, and land. I'm a hunter. I like to go out. If I had land to hunt on, that would be fantastic. So that is my dream home. As for Bree, I would say hers is a little bit different.
I'm sorry, what kind of dream home do you
I did ranch, my ranch, you know?
Yeah, like I said before, the farmhouse feel, you know, an open concept with high ceilings and having that kitchen with some natural light coming through and having, you know, a back porch to sit on in the evenings when you're coming home after a long day's work. Excuse me. You know, we were also kind of looking if we did stay in town for some off-street parking, which is a huge deal, especially in town because when there's snow plowing or anything like that, you always have to move your cars. If there's something going on, you're losing your parking spot. You never really have that safe parking spot to come home to. So that was a big thing for us in the house hunting process, is finding some off-street parking as well. I guess some of the cosmetic deal breakers, like I said before, that tile on the walls, the old subway tile. I don't know what other really turn-offs. I know David had a few.
My biggest deal breaker is the functionality of the kitchen. Being first home buyers, being on a budget, that is very expensive. So I would say functionality of the home needs to be there. Besides that, we're talking about facelifts, paint jobs, stuff like that is doable. I don't mind working on something with that, with my brother, family. So I think functionality is the biggest deal breaker. If the home is not functional, we just can't do it at this point right now.
Another thing that was kind of a deal breaker for us when searching, not cosmetics as much, but more appliance-wise, what we were going to get, because as a first-time home buyer, you don't have a ton of money, so you're trying to furnish your home and things like that. So for us, we were looking for a house that included this, the stove and the microwave, or the stove and the fridge, and your washer and dryer, because those are really big appliance purchases that if you have them in a home, makes it a little easier to want to buy that home. So as far as cosmetics go, there's other options, but the appliances were a huge thing for us. Cosmetics, I mean, I tried to stay away from wood paneling. It's very hard looking for old houses that don't have the wood paneling. Luckily, you can paint it and kind of go over it. Not that it's always a bad thing depending on how it's put in, but some houses were kind of, they tried to do updating, but they still had some wood paneling, so you would have a top half that was paneled, a bottom half that wasn't paneled, and then you had to have drywall on one wall and paneling on another wall. It didn't all flow. So if all the paneling, all the walls were drywalled, it flows a little bit better. But David, again, could care less. He's like, it's good. There's 4 walls and there's a floor, and we could put a couch down and we could put a TV just on the floor and be good to go.
Somebody else is more of the stylist. She sells the LuLaRoe. She's into, keeping up with the Joneses to a point, and I'd rather, I just want to be in the house. I want to get out. I just want to be, I can make it work, I've going from one extreme to the other, from living in Montana, coming to Pennsylvania. I've been through it all. So at this point, I would just rather be in a house. So, and the one thing I would say is going through new homes that family has bought. Wallpaper is the hardest thing to take off walls. I would much rather not have any wallpaper. It's just a hassle. That's one thing I don't.
Not even that bordered wallpaper. It is
border's the worst. It's the worst. So I would say wallpaper is another. I wouldn't say a deal breaker, but it is. It's very close to it. It's on that fine line.
You can have some cute paisley wallpaper in a bathroom.
No, I don't think so.
Just kidding.
I don't think so.
No wallpaper for me either.
No. So I think that's something we can agree on. So deal breakers, we are on the same page, but I would say style of house, we are a little different. So we'll have to, we have to find something, something that works for us both. And
that's another thing. I mean, you could kind of tell when we were in a house who liked the house and who liked what parts of it a little more, because we would be a little more talkative, or we would ask a little more questions, while the other one of us would stand there and just, kind of look away or wander to another room. I mean, I'm talking about myself, because if there was something I didn't like, I wandered away. I walked to a different room. I was like, nope, don't want this one. Yeah. So I'm gonna. But there were houses that I thought I would like, and there were deal breakers. I mean, going down to the basement, the stairwell was this narrow.
You couldn't even get through.
You couldn't even fit a normal sized person, yet alone if you have somebody in your family that's overweight, or for the safety hazard of having kids over. Not saying that we have a furnished basement. But if somebody needs to go down there to get a drink, because you store your drinks down there, or get your outside toys or something, it's not safe at all to squeeze down a little narrow stairwell. What can you even store in a basement that big? You can't. And the ceilings are so low. I mean, I'm 5'11", so therefore I need some higher ceilings. So like Cape Cod style, I thought that was my style. And then we started going and looking at Cape Cods. Nope. All the ceilings went like this. And I went and I ducked because I felt like a giant in my house. I felt like there was no room to move. Again, like closet space, there was none, because it was all A-framed into the house. So all the ceilings crouched in, which took away your closet space. And we know girls need closets. So that wasn't really a good thing for me. I don't know. I think we pretty much hit like everything that we liked and things we didn't like.
And I'll tell you just before we go through and you do the show in her house and maybe what we like and don't like. Since we aren't at my parents' house and that's who I live with, they live in a split level home. I do like the layout of the upstairs. I don't like the whole split level idea of it's almost a waste of space with the garage under the bedroom and bathroom on the first level. But what I do like about my house, and that's another thing that brought me as a good space for backyard. As the one biggest thing I like. The space of the rooms were good size, and that's something I look in. But the one thing, probably a biggest small kitchen with no open concept. There was walls, so you felt enclosed. And I'll be cooking most of the time. Somebody else doesn't cook that much.
I'm a good cook.
I don't know about that. So the kitchen is important to me. That's where I'm gonna be at.
I'm gonna be cooking because I get home from work sooner. So he's gonna want dinner on the table, or I'm gonna be hungry. So it's just not gonna work unless I cook.
The microwave dinners don't count.
He can have the grill.
Microwave dinners do not count.
That's the only. Or throw a pizza in the oven every day. That'll work, right?
That's not cooking.
Peanut butter and jelly.
That's not cooking. So.
Okay, so we'll go through a little tour of the house of the things we do like and don't like. Obviously, like I said, the house was built to our family, so it is a little bit nicer. It is a little bit bigger than the size we're looking for. There's things that are nice. There's things that we don't like, but we'll show you that as we go. So we're gonna flip the camera.